morning. So we started getting involved in the Englishman River watershed at the request and with MVI, just to try to figure out what is the role of groundwater in the watershed. But first we focused on the lower part of the watershed, where sand and gravel aquifer are present. And so we're able to delineate up to 12 aquifers. And because of the participation of the public and people passing their wells for monitoring, so we installed data loggers and we're able to monitor the fluctuation of the water table. And with that, we're able to figure out in which direction the water was going, indicated with the blue arrows, and the shape and the slope of the water table. And so that allowed us to understand better the groundwater regime. Then we said what's happening with bedrock, because there is a lot of water flowing through the bedrock. So same thing, we equipped some wells completed in bedrock, and we're able to figure out the movement of the groundwater in the bedrock. Then we wanted to say, okay, how do we share that with the public? So we wanted to create some images that were simple to read. And so this is kind of view from the boat. So you imagine you are walking down the river, you have the right bank on your right, the left bank on your left, and the colored pieces indicate where the aquifers are in contact with the banks and daylight in the banks. And we use the information that we collected on the dynamic of the groundwater to estimate the participation in what each aquifer was providing to the river. We also wanted to see what was the connection with the land. So from this view from the bow, we created this butterfly image. So you can see the connection with the banks. So you have the V at the lower parts, which indicates where the aquifers are in contact with the river. And then you unfold the picture to see on the right side what's happening on the right side of the river, on the left side what's happening with the left side of the river. And then you have the pink aquifer, where we see where the recharge area of this pink aquifer is. And we can, with the divide in the aquifer, we can see the actual piece of land where every drop of water ends up in the river. That was done many years, 5 years ago. And we still have the challenge of how can we best share information on groundwater? And how can we help people changing behavior? Now we have different tools, better tools. It's easier to create 3D images of aquifers. This is like software that we commonly use, it's called Leapfrog, where we can show all the topography, we can show the presence of the aquifers in the subsurface indicated with the blue lancers or the blue zones. We can see the presence of the wells where information is collected on lithology. The little blue dots show where the water level was measured in the wells. So that allows to share with the public what's happening in the subsurface. Where are the aquifers? How high is the water table? And the RDN is doing a great job in trying to vulgarize, to make access to groundwater information easy to understand to the public. In 2017, we participated to this State of the Aquifer, where information on aquifers was compiled, because we wanted to know if the water table going down or going up. So you can see, I will try not to skip through the slide here. We have different symbols indicated with blue that the water table is quite stable. In green, aquifers where we have an increase of the level of the water table. And in pink, where we have declining water level. And in the little brochure that the RDN produced, we can see that here we have an aquifer where we see over time, this is the high and low of the water table. And you can see that over time it's quite stable. This one here, we see that both the maximum and the minimum recorded are dropping. So we have a dropping trend of the aquifer, meaning that the aquifer is under stress. And in this example, we have a different behavior with the water table gradually going up, so there is more recharge and the water is being used. So in terms of finding new tools to share information, we have at GW Solutions focus on being able to see on the same screen information on a map. So we have here, this is for the Southern River, and we have a gauge station that provides information on water levels over time. So on the same screen, we have a map which shows where the information comes from, and here we have daily fluctuation of flows over time, the monthly fluctuation and the daily monthly fluctuation. But just to show that we could click on another dot on the map and automatically the information will be refreshed and we get new graphs. So I think the visual, you don't have to flip through charts, you don't have to flip through pages. On the one page you have all the information. So I think it's very important to interpret thousands, tens of thousands of data on one chart. And this is now available. So key points to summarize my presentation. Regarding the Englishman River, we know much more than we knew 10 years ago. And thanks for organizations like MVI, and thanks to all the volunteers who gave hundreds of hours in collecting information. And the groundwater is a key contributor to the low flows of the Englishman River. Moving forward, I think it's still extremely important to keep collecting information and to keep engaging with the community. Communication is key. How do we pass information? How do we dump information so that people with no technical knowledge can grasp what's important? Telling stories. This is how we get that information. Okay, got the message. And how do we change behaviors? I think having data is not enough. We need to reach to the psychology of the people so that people can change behaviors. Thank you.